Hey there, it's Jamie Jorge, the marketing director for Blanchard Calhoun, for another episode of Voices of Real Estate. Today, I've got Will Dozier, who is our Director of Land Development and Commercial Real Estate with us. How are you, Will?
Good. How are you doing today?
Good. I'm glad to have you on. For those of you listening, today we are going to talk a little bit about just what Will does, what he does, what his day-to-day kind of looks like, and then just some exciting projects that we've got going on. So you ready to talk to us about that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I would say my job is a hat rack.
Yeah? You want to elaborate a little bit on that?
I wear a lot of hats.
Okay.
First and foremost is the commercial brokerage side, where we have agents in the office who are managing the sell and buy side, commercial assets. We have property management, where we're managing multi-tenant assets or single-tenant assets. And then we venture a little bit into the apartment side, multifamily side,
Right.
on the commercial brokerage side. And then there's land development. And historically, mostly we have been in residential single-family development.
Mm-hmm.
We have started up a kind of an owner's representation / construction management side to that, where we have clients who have spaces who would like to develop them out, and they're more hands-off or passive investors.
Mm-hmm.
So we provide a service where we will go in and review their property, do an assessment, broker's opinion for lease comps, and we'll bring in an architectural firm and kind of conceptually lay it out, start doing some pricing, and try to tie all that in. And we've been pretty successful here lately. We just landed a big project coming hopefully first quarter 27.
Okay.
It's 3069 Washington Road. It's the old Bourne Toyota dealership. Classic Collisions behind it. It's going to be an inline shopping center, Class A project with 6 suites. We're hoping to bring in 2 nice restaurants and some retail.
Okay.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, that's really exciting. And we did kind of like a video on that previously to just kind of
Yes.
launch it out. And I know that had a lot of chatter behind it. So that's really good. So are we still looking
Really
for
exciting.
tenants?
Yes, we're not heavy in marketing to tenants yet. We're trying to finalize our pricing. Kind of the way we've gone about that is bringing in the architect and the general contractor before we apply for permit or before we get to 100% drawings. And we do that for a lot of reasons. We want to get all the kinks out of the drawings.
Sure.
So once we get to permit, the building is ready to go. We know how we want it, and we can fast track it to completion. So once we finish that process and we're right at permit, then we'll start to really push hard.
Okay.
Marketing.
So going back to like the services part of things, when you say that you guys offer the services to basically help a passive owner or whatever take their property and turn it into something else, are we talking from like raw land all the way up to a brick and mortar, or are we talking something that they already own and then they want to convert it to something else? Can you elaborate?
All the above. So we can start with a blank site and go all the horizontal and vertical construction ground up, or we can go into the building like we're in now, which was an old dealership. It was the showroom, matter of fact, and do a renovation.
Which looks great so far. I mean, they've really made a lot of movement on that.
There's actually a lot going on with demolition, doing a little bit of mechanical and electrical work, what the county will allow or the city will allow us to do in preparation for the permit itself.
And I mean, realistically, this is probably the first retail space on Washington Road that's going to be like converted or considered a new retail space, right? In a long time.
A very long time. I would say, I don't recall when the what was it? Fresh Market was developed. I don't remember when they developed that shopping center,
That was a long time.
but now it's Fresh Take now. So that's probably the last big redevelopment on Washington Road, which was a couple years ago. But in terms of a shopping center itself, long time.
A long time, right?
It's time. That section of I-20, that northern section of I-20, it's everything's kind of growing out that direction towards Columbia County. So we thought it was, and the owner too, was going to be a great spot for an inline retail
For sure.
shopping center.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I know when I had Judd on the video, he was talking about like a barbecue spot coming in.
Judd's got a lot of good ideas, and we do have soft interest in it. We're just not wanting to get to a contractual state just yet.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, so we talked a little bit about the commercial side of things. Obviously, that's just one like facet of what we have going on. But what about on the residential development side?
Residential developments is pretty busy as well. We've been in, I would say, kind of a research state on a new project called Cedar Vale for about 4 years.
Wow.
And Cedar Vale is it's going to be in Bartram Trail. It's 41 lots, and it's going to be marketed towards active adults. And we took a lot of time to think about that demographic. What does that demographic want? It's not just a house. What are their needs? What is their financial position at that stage in life, is in terms of the kids are out of the house more than likely. They're probably graduated college. So they're kind of back to square one with being an empty nester. They want to travel, move about the earth.
Low maintenance at home.
Low maintenance. So we kind of wrapped all that into a community that is maintenance free. The homes are going to be 2,200 square feet, maybe a little under 2,000. On the interior, though, we thought about, more than likely that person in that stage of life is going to probably not buy another house. So this is their last home. And, trying to think through what would you want in your last home. So one, you want to downsize, but you want to carry all the luxuries from your older, bigger home. So all the nice finishes, the hardwoods, the custom cabinets, all the specialty countertops, trims. So we brought that into it, but then we were thinking, all right, well, what about the golden years? And that's when we got outside the box a little bit and started working with, they're not occupational therapists, but I can't think of the term now. But we got out speaking with some in-home care consultants. There we go. Thank you. And just talking about how, what they deal with when they're going in home with seniors, and what are some of the issues that they have trying to traverse their own homes, traditional homes that they didn't sell, they're still living in. Some of them are from the 60s, and or even if they're newer, what are those issues of traversing around those homes? And one of the biggest comments that came back was the size of doors. Doors into the master bedroom, doors into closets, doors in the bathroom, water closets, all that. So we kind of gave them a questionnaire list of, all right, well, how would you change this? What would you do different? And what come back was a focus on 3-0 doors, just like the front entry of a home is usually 3-0, where your master bedroom and your master bathroom, really all the bedrooms in the home, are usually 2.6.
Okay, so 3.0
or 2.8.
Wider. Taller?
It's wider. It can be taller, but it's really about the width, and the width matters with wheelchairs.
Right.
Walkers,
Or hospital beds.
Or hospital beds. Correct. And so we've planned all these homes to have 3.0 entry into the master bedrooms as well, into the master baths. The water closets are, we use the term ADA compliant, but I don't want to come off as thinking that this is going to be a hospital.
Sure.
You know, it's going to look like a hospital with grab bars and railings and tubes hanging out of the ceilings, because it's nothing like that. But the spatial design is there for wheelchairs at a later date.
Okay, so let's back up a little bit. So when you say active adult, right? I consider myself an active adult, but when you say active adult, you're thinking someone who is in the years of their life where their kids are out of the house. They're looking to buy their last home, have low maintenance, but also have somewhere to come home to.
Correct.
It's luxury at home, just on a smaller scale. They're in a little bit of a community, but they're going to stay there, probably one story, right?
Yeah, they're one story for the most part. Some of them are 1.5 stories.
Okay.
Because, again, active adults are not, they're active, right? So they still want to climb the stairs, but the main function of the house is on the main level.
Okay. And so then from there, they would take the current house that they live in and ideally transition it if they needed to add grab bars or anything like that. It's already set up to do it, even though it may not be there.
Correct. So yeah, one other feature in that is the blocking in the walls. So we'll have additional blocking behind the sheetrock going down the hallways in the master bedroom.
What does that mean?
In the master bathroom as well. Blocking, oftentimes builders are when they put blocking in the walls, it's usually a 2x4. And it's just stuck in between the studs.
Okay.
But what we're going to look at doing is putting in full sheathing across those areas. So when you're trying to anchor anything into that wall, if they're trying to find a stud that's 2 inches wide, so they're punching holes in the wall till they find it, or they're with a tape measure measuring from a jamb all the way out to wherever they go. It never works. So with this, the anchoring can be anywhere from 4 to 5 foot tall in the wall. So wherever you hit in that wall, there's going to be wood anchoring there, ready to go.
Great. Yeah. So you're not sitting there knocking on the wall trying to find the
correct. And also that there's sufficient stability in that wall for anything that might need to be heavier.
Okay. So ideally, what does that client profile look like? Obviously, we talked about the kids maybe being out.
Kind of like entry level. Well, I think the demographics going to probably, on average, be more 60 to 65.
Okay.
Probably. And I'm sure everyone out there has heard 55 and older.
Sure.
Active adult communities.
Right.
And those are out there, and they're usually age restricted. So we shouldn't confuse that. And that's why we talk more about active adult instead of 55, because everybody wants to, they want to almost make that akin to age restricted. So this is not age restricted. That gets complicated. It's just active adult.
Right.
And everything in the home is going to be designed at a point and price point where we really don't think younger families will move in to those homes. So it's just easier with active adult.
Okay. So when do we anticipate that we'll have some product on the ground?
We are in construction now, and we're thinking Q1 to be finished of 27 and going vertical probably Q2 of 27. And I'd say finished product easily Q4, Q3 of 27.
That's like right around the corner.
Yes.
I mean,
and I can't wait.
I know.
I've been working on this 4 or 5 years now.
It's going to be kind of cool to see it kind of come to life. But, tell me, are they going to be single family detached?
Single family detached.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep. So, and it's going to be, I know, we developed obviously Bartram.
Yes,
So it's going to be kind of cool to have another product in there.
it is, and this is the last phase
Mhm.
of Bartram Trail. And the cool thing about Bartram Trail, and it worked out so well to get this parcel. This parcel was originally zoned to be assisted living,
Okay.
and a lot of the large PUDs that were designed and thought of in the early 2000s, and this went on everywhere. There were a lot of large PUDs that were 5 to 800 units, and they would have commercial on the front. They'd have a daycare center somewhere, and they would have an assisted living facility zoned into the PUD. And what we found is the majority of the assisted living facilities did not work, and we just didn't think through where those really needed to be,
Mm-hmm.
which were closer in to hospitals, more in an urban environment. So it was a easy transition to say, all right, we don't really want assisted living here,
Mm-hmm.
but active adult
Right.
is exactly what you want here. So it worked out.
Do you anticipate that some of the owners that are currently in Bartram might shift over to this product versus?
100%.
Yeah.
It very well could be 100% Bartram Trail transition.
Okay. Interesting.
We've had some we had some soft marketing, not reservation.
Right.
But there were so many people calling our sales office that I told the site agents, because they were wanting a reservation list. I was like, I don't want to do that. It was too early,
Right.
way too early.
Right.
I said, but talk to them and let's just start getting some names and numbers and tell them once we're closer, we'll get back to them.
Mm-hmm.
And the list just started growing
And growing.
and growing
And
and growing. And I think we finally just kind of stopped it at like 35 people
Right.
on that list. And I would say probably 80% are Bartram.
Okay. So 35 names on the list so far.
Yeah.
Right.
Not reserved.
Not reserved.
Not
just
reserved.
people who are
We will-
interested.
We will reach out when we open up marketing.
Okay.
Yes.
How many units do we think we'll have on the?
We have 41.
All right. So 41 units, 1 to 1.5 floors.
Mm-hmm. Some one story, but there are a few 1.5.
Okay. And
There's probably 5 or 6 plans.
square footage wise again.
I'd say on average 2,100,
Okay.
but there's some that are coming in under that. And there will be some like the 1.5s that'll probably reach up to 22.
So what are they, like 2 2s, 3 2s?
2 2s, 3 2s.
Okay.
Yep.
And then are there any amenities that
Bartram Trail.
outside of Bartram? So I mean, any
There's
specific
no specific amenities in Cedar Vale itself. We are building a little dog park.
Okay.
And then you'll have access to the Columbia County, I forget what they call it now, Greenway.
Okay.
I think it's the Greenway. Is that North Augusta?
Greenway's North Augusta.
Yeah. Same thing though.
Right. On the Columbia County.
Yes, the
Okay.
Columbia County. They have miles and miles and miles of trail, and Bartram Trail actually merged about 5 miles of their trails in with the county's plan for trails. So they'll have direct access to the asphalt walking trails, and then of course the golf course,
Right.
which again is why Bartram Trail was such a great location. And I would probably be willing to bet that a majority of these folks that are interested are golfers.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's such a great neighborhood.
It's a great neighborhood.
So we've talked about size. What about price point? Do we have a range?
They're probably going to be 500, just below 500 starting out.
Okay.
High 4s.
High 4s.
Yeah.
Probably
Five.
some options to upgrade and do things.
Yeah.
and- yeah.
They'll have several different trim packages.
Mhm.
We're not going to vary on customizing the layouts. We're going to
Sure.
kind of stick to our plans.
Mhm.
We spent a lot of time developing those plans, but there will definitely be multiple trim packages, and there's also going to be some bathroom packages for someone who does come in that's already in that position where they're in the golden years and they do need some in-home care. We have had people who have reached out, who have parents up north.
Yeah.
They want to move them down, and they're looking at this product and saying, that is perfect. They can move in. They feel very at ease with the way the house is laid out and the ability to have the protection set up for when they're walking around the home,
Absolutely.
not falling.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually one of the number one, one of the, how do I put this stat? That's like one of the main occurrences with older people in their existing designed homes.
Yep.
Is falling.
Yeah, 100%.
And once you fall, you break your hip. It's usually not good from there.
Right.
That's the scariest thing for the older generation living in their home. And they do want to live in their home. They want to be, their freedom.
Yeah.
So that is, that's their number one fear, is falling.
Yeah. I mean, I know, when my parents were living alone, I mean, my mom had a instance where she fell, actually a couple, and yeah, it's one of the scariest things to get that call.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
And then once they fall, trying to heal them back up is a long road as well. And which, again, the house is set up for that too. But,
Right.
You just don't want that for your loved ones.
So for people who might be interested in the product, I mean, obviously, I know we've got this list that's not a list. And then people are, as they hear more about Cedar Vale, obviously, this is a Blanchard Calhoun product.
Blanchard Calhoun product. Yep.
How can they get more information when it is ready to come out? Like, what would you suggest people who might be interested do?
Well, I think, first of all, when we do get ready to release it, I think Jamie's going to do an excellent job of getting it on social media, and everybody and their friends are going to know where it's at and how to get in touch with us. But if you have interest now, just reach out to Blanchard Calhoun and just ask for Will Dozier.
Okay, perfect.
Be happy to talk to him.
You heard that here. You can call Will. He'll answer all of your questions about our upcoming development. Is there anything else you want them to know about Cedar Vale? And or what we do?
As far as Cedar Vale is, once we release once we open it up for contracts, I wouldn't waste any time.
Don't wait.
Don't wait.
Don't wait.
It's gonna go fast.
Yes, based on what I've seen already, and obviously we've had other people in our market kind of already talking about Cedar Vale, and so. We wanted to make sure everyone heard from us first, right?
100%.
Knew the product and what we're doing and
Yeah.
all of that. So, what else you got?
We've got a few more projects coming out. We got a project getting ready to start up in Grovetown, and we have some infill projects that we're not talking about just yet, but we have
still tight-lipped about it, right?
Still tight-lipped,
Yep.
but we have some infill projects coming to Augusta.
Okay.
And we have some things over across the river we're looking at.
Well,
So,
and I think
lot going on in the development department.
And I think that's something like maybe the audience in general doesn't necessarily understand that developments, it's not like, okay, I'm going to decide that we're going to do this and bam, the next month it's on the market. Talk a little bit about the development process to give everyone kind of a better understanding of why Cedar Vale has taken 4 years to come on board.
Yeah, and the development process today is so different than even 5 years ago.
Sure.
Much less 10 years ago. Today, you've got to be really conscious of your end product and what the market is wanting, who that demographic is. Like today, our demographic is really different. We used to have 10, 15, 20 years ago, we had 5 levels of buyers, and today we've probably got 2. maybe 3.
Yeah.
And the those two are, you would say, your first time home buyer, but they look different.
Well, they're not
They're
like
not who they
20s
correct.
anymore. They're your first time home buyer average age is like 40.
Is 40 years old.
Right.
Correct.
Very different.
It's very different. And they're married. And so a married couple at 40 is wanting something different than the 25-year-old from 20 years ago.
Right.
What they wanted. So you've really got to be conscious about that. And then you got the boomers, and the boomers are wanting, oddly enough, kind of the same thing that the those first-time home buyers are wanting, and kind of in the same location. So that's an interesting mix. But back to your question, it's you've got to understand that geographically, you've got to look at where's the opportunity. Then you've got to find the land. You've got to negotiate that out with the landowner, and that's a process in itself. And then once you can control that, it's entitlement. And the entitlement process today is, it's very long and drawn out what you have to provide for municipalities. So today we pretty much have to have the entire project, not necessarily designed, but it has to be thought out.
Well, and also tell us a little bit about what entitlement means.
So entitlement is zoning. And in zoning, there's, depending on the municipality, there's a lot of different variations of that zoning, where it could be multifamily attached, like townhomes, or detached single family. And then you can have a high density multifamily zoning, or a high density single family detached zoning, where and what that is 1 units to the acre, 2 units to the acre, 3 units to the acre is what kind of the densities we're looking at. And in today's environment, most municipalities are looking at 2 units per acre.
So not people just thinking it's as simple as saying, oh, well, this is going to be zone residential and that's going to be zone commercial.
And right. And or oftentimes too, the general public who or Mr. or Mrs. landowner are thinking that they can come in and develop all these houses.
Sure.
And their land is just going to be X. And it's just not the case. We've turned down, I'd say in the last 2 years, at least 7 projects just because they don't work. And it's either a land value issue or a zoning issue, or in the middle of that is the construction side of it, building the roads, which is another factor that we have to play in, is all the regulation in building the roads, the environmental concerns, all that ties in together, and you've got to have all of that to line up before you can close the property. And if you can get all that to line up,
right,
and you can close the property, then you have to go into the design part of it. And that's a whole nother level of complicated, is completing your civil engineering and then actually building the first phase of the project, or the whole project, depending on how big it is. So you could easily spend over a year just in the land negotiations and the entitlement.
And that's assuming everything goes according to plan.
Correct.
And
it's probably a year and a half if you put the negotiation factor in with the landowner.
Right. If
you're having to educate them, if you're able to educate them. Sometimes you are, sometimes you're not. So yeah, it's easily a year and a half, and you could be looking at anywhere from $25,000 to $50,000, $70,000 in due diligence
alone,
and you might not get the zoning.
Right.
So that's another thing that you have to be cognitive of, is whether you're wanting to spend that money on
Mm-hmm.
a possible opportunity of being turned down for your
Right.
zoning.
Well, and then to invest that time,
The time.
a year and a half, and then at the tail end of that, kind of go, oh, well, that's not going to work. So then you're back to the drawing board, right?
Correct.
And you start over. So, I mean, so for someone like you who has to go through this every day, I mean, how many parcels of land do you look at a year on average?
Oh, wow, that's a good question. Um, I've turned like in the last 2 years, I've turned down 5 or 6, so
Mhm.
I've probably looked at least 10.
Right. And that's not just like, oh, okay, yeah, this looks like a good piece of land. It's you having to go look at it, and actually research the property and kind of go through the different various steps and everything.
Yeah, so when a parcel of land hits my desk, the first thing I'm looking at is zoning. What's it zoned at? Where are the utilities at? What's the topography look like? Is there wetlands on the property?
Mhm.
And what is the owner wanting for the property?
Right.
If that all kind of feels right, and we'll push into some pencil conceptual designs that I'll do, and
Mhm.
just kind of see what the density is based on what our feeling of what the municipality will kind of give us in that area. And
Sure.
if all that lines up, then we'll start negotiating with the landowner, um, based on whatever their offering price is.
Okay.
But
And
sometimes that doesn't line up.
right.
I'll pencil it out, and their price, they're at X, and I'm like, we can't do X, and then we walk away.
Mm-hmm.
We try not to negotiate whatever their price is. We accept that's your price,
Right.
and we'll just say we can't go any further. Sometimes they come back and they're willing to negotiate.
Mm-hmm.
Oftentimes, that's what they want. And
So if we've got, some people in our audience who own some land that they think might be able to be developed, do you take these proposals, or if somebody just calls and says, hey, Will, I own X amount of acres, I think it would be great for XYZ. I mean, are
Mhm.
you open to having those conversations with?
Oh yeah, it's what I do.
Right.
Do it all the time.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I had a doctor who called me up. Unfortunately, we ended up having to terminate the deal, but the doctor had some land that he felt like it was a parcel of land that could be developed. It was in a good area, and I agreed with him.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him, I said, well, we need to go through this due diligence, and we got pretty deep into the due diligence, and then we ran into some soil issues. And from there, we kind of mapped out what would have to occur and where that would put us when we were ready to sell those lots to builders. And then where's the builder going to be in his final price to the consumer? And we felt like that the market
Wouldn't support it.
wouldn't support it. So
Right.
we had to terminate it.
Right.
I,
So,
I do that often.
yeah. And I mean, obviously, like you said, you're in your due diligence period. You don't necessarily know what's coming until it gets there.
Correct.
And
And
so,
yeah, I mean, you're having to hire consultants.
right.
There's some of it, I'd say probably 60% of it that I'm able to do myself from just
Mhm.
experience. And there's probably 40% that's a consultant's needed, whether it's a a civil engineer to do surveys, or a testing firm to come out and do a phase 1 or phase 2 testing, or delineating the wetlands themselves to find out where exactly those wetlands are on the property, and if it's in a floodplain or not in a floodplain.
Right. Well, I mean, I think that's great that you kind of went into all of that, because I don't think a lot of people necessarily know what goes into developing an actual like neighborhood and then putting a product, especially like a new product,
Yeah.
on the ground. Because something like Cedar Vale, I mean, is there anything like that in our market right now?
Um, there's some versions of it here and there. I don't think there's anything to the extent of what we've done with the spatial design.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some pocket communities around Aiken,
Sure. Yeah.
especially, that have that type of community. But I think it's more or less a community where you've got smaller homes, easier maintenance. I don't think there's been a focus on the interior spatial design of a home and thinking about an older person
Mm-hmm.
being in that home
Forever.
15, 20 years down the road.
Right.
Right.
Mhm. Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for sharing all of that with us
Thank
today.
you.
And you heard it here from Will. If you guys have some land out there,
Call me.
yeah, call Will. And also call Will if you are interested in Cedar Vale, which hopefully we'll have some new information for you guys by the end of the year into quarter one.
Yeah, we'll probably start talking more about it in the fall.
Okay, perfect. So
Yeah.
we'll have to have you come back and give us a quick update on that.
Love to.
Okay. Well, that's all we've got today. Thank you.